for the benefit of the one person other than myself that watched my recent upload, my 800th video to YouTube, there was no one at the door. There was no cunt there. Anyway, moving on, in case that one person was wondering. In this video, I thought I would talk about things I've grown out of, like wrestling. I started to think about, things like Star Wars this weekend with the episode 8 out, which I've no interest of seeing. It looked pretty sharp in the trailer, but to me, it's not going to make my life any greater going to see it. And it got me thinking about, my own sort of shit that I still keep a tab on, like wrestling, and I've definitely outgrown it. To be honest, I watch it for distraction sake most of the time. It's been utter garbage this year. The product's been very, very unwatchable, and it's very off-putting. But I also have no interest in like UFC. I think I remember Dana White once triggered a lot of people when he said something like, "Well, wrestling's something you grow out of when you're 14 and you move on to real fighting." Well, Dana, fighting, I grew out of wanting to fight folk about 10. So to me, real fighting's more mature than wrestling. But that's just my opinion. I'll probably annoy a lot of people by saying that, but I think they're both immature. Wrestling to me is a young man's game. My love for it, legit love, was between kid and say 21 when I went to WrestleMania, and then after that I kept up with it for conversation's sake, and something to talk about and hear. And I do like the escapism. I'm not saying like just because I've outgrown things, I don't like watching them, I just feel like some folk take things a little bit too far, and I do cringe at others. Like I've mentioned it briefly in a previous video that, do I really want to still be talking about things like wrestling in my 30s on here like a lot of other folk do and react to things? Like Grimm's, is it Toy Shop? I don't know. I've only watched a few of his videos, but I know I'm assuming he does all these things where he's playing about with wrestling figures, and I don't know, maybe he's younger than me. I always assume I'm younger than Abdi, but no, maybe he's younger than me, but he looks about 30 odd, I would say. And he's got all these wrestling figures, not like wrestling figures he got when he was a kid, like the Hasbro stuff that I had. Not those stuff that he's bought as an adult, I just think, when I see shit like that, I just think it's too far. And it's very cringe, I feel, when watching these, adults, grown adults, not young adults anymore, these grown men playing about with wrestling figures or Star Wars figures, and I just feel like it's going too far. Like, to me, I don't mind watching wrestling, still enjoy it, but part of me's like, I'm too old for this shit. And if I had family, like if I were a dad, I'd maybe watch it with my son or daughter if they were into it. But I wouldn't watch so much of this, keep up with things like Star Wars and all that stuff on my own merit. I just feel like I see people like Graham and Stephen Larson, and I believe both of them, or one of them's a father. I just feel like, guys, you waste so much time on fake stuff and childish films. You shouldn't even be, I don't know, looking after your kid or whatever, being a man. That seems to be missing in today's age. And I'm all for having fun. I don't want this to come across as I'm a grumpy old man ever since I turned 30. But I just, I was trying to be more real, And, with the new Star Wars film, got me thinking, and things have really grown out of. And I know of, folk that really enjoy these films and they're older than me, but I don't know. I don't get it. As for Star Wars itself, I was never a fan growing up. Maybe that's something to do with it. But I did watch the original three, and I thought they were okay, a bit overrated. I went to see The Phantom Menace when I was 12 in the cinema, 1999, and I actually enjoyed it as a kid. I know a lot of people don't like that particular film. I thought the end fight scene was amazing, but I haven't watched it since that time, that year. So maybe I'd think it was shit now too. But as a 12-year-old kid, I really had a good time with episode one. And then I was at secondary by the time episode two came out. We went to see it as a school trip, and all the kids were laughing at it. Teens were laughing at it. I thought episode two was the shits. To quote Bret Hart. And then episode three came out. Again, I guess it was better than the second. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first. And just, Star Wars sort of went over my head, if you will. And I kind of was tempted, with all the hype and stuff to go and see episode 7. I didn't. I didn't go and see Rogue One, and I won't go and see this one. But I actually own episode 7. I've owned it for like over a year and still never been bored enough to watch it. I just, like, I watched the film today, as good as it gets. And I haven't seen that film in a while, but it's very rare that I actually sit and watch a film, because I get bored easily watching films and playing games. Like, I don't really play. The only games I play is old games I've had for years, and sometimes go and play them. But I feel like I'm wasting time sometimes watching films, playing games. I need to be productive. I need to feel like, that's why I do a lot of videos. I feel like I can at least attempt at being productive, like at least try and entertain folk on here, or be informative, and I feel productive that way. That's why I make videos rather than watch films and play games all the time. But if I had my own family and wife or whatever by now, I would probably, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I would be concentrating on making my family's life as good as it gets. Anyways, I know this is a bit of a ramble, but I like to hear your thoughts, and people, still playing about with toys when they're like my age and older. I know a lot of it probably is for YouTube. I was reading lately, there's a 6-year-old boy who, is he like a millionaire or something because he reviews toys or something? And I understand, people do these things for YouTube to get the money, but I just think it's really sad. And you see my videos talk about wrestling a lot, but I really just do it for conversation wise, distract myself from the real world, because the real world is not too fun sometimes. That's why I like distracting myself with wrestling, and it's good escapism. But there's a big part of me that's like, oh, I'm far too old for this shit. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think about things like man-childs, still playing about with Star Wars figures, wrestlers and stuff like that. And remember to share this video, dislike the video. Let me know you're watching at least. And I'll speak to you all again very soon.